If you've ever been told that in order to lose your belly fat and trim up, you gotta cut your carbs, you gotta skip some meals, and it might not all work because your metabolism is done for after 30, it shouldn't alarm you, but you've been lied to. And you're not the only one who's been lied to. I have heard some of those same things repeated from a ton of the clients that I've worked with, and especially a lot of the women. And thankfully, working with these people, I've been able to help them see the light and understand that this is not the way and those myths have gotta go. So in this video, I'm gonna break down the 9 biggest and worst offenders of weight loss myths that are still messing people up, and especially you ladies that want to get rid of your belly fat. So if you want to lose fat, feel better in your body, and stop wasting a bunch of time over this nonsense, this is the video for you. So stick around as we get into it. What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Coach Achidi, and I'm both your personal trainer and food educator. And the entire purpose of my channel is to give you a common sense and no BS style of health education so you can not only get healthy, but you can stay healthy. I'm all about teaching health education in a way that makes it simple for you to understand so you can sustain your healthy lifestyle. And if this is something that really interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And also, if you want more free information, every week I put out a newsletter on Sundays and I can send it to your email inbox. All you got to do is head down to that video description and tap the link to get signed up. So we're talking about fitness weight loss myths that gotta go. I got 9 of them to bring to the table, so let's get into it. So let's start off with one of the biggest myths that I hear pretty much on a weekly basis, and that simply is, I'm eating healthy, so that's all I need to lose weight. While they are correct that you should be eating healthy a majority of the time, portions and size do matter. Case in point, I'll have clients come up to me and they'll talk about how they're eating their acai bowls, they're drinking their smoothies, they're having their healthy fats like peanut butter, and I have to get taken aback a little bit because I'm stoked to see that they're eating healthy, nutritious foods. They're getting their healthy fats. I love to hear it. But they're neglecting the fact that the math still needs to add up. Calories still count, whether they are healthy calories or they're junk food calories. You still have to account for your portions. Something as simple as a tablespoon of peanut butter, or basically the amount that you can put on your finger. That little amount that doesn't do much for your hunger is enough to pack in nearly 200 calories. So big things can come in small packages. And I'm not saying to never eat those foods, just you have to be aware of your portions. So myth number 1 is simply, if it's healthy, the calories don't count. No, the calories always count. So you got to make sure you're watching your portions on top of eating your healthy foods. This next myth is one that's going to sound real smart, but I promise you it's just some dumb bro science. And it's one that says that if you eat after a set hour, like 7 p.m., all that food you just ate is going to turn instantly into body fat. And that's not at all how it works. When it comes to losing fat, the amount of total calories you eat each day matters more, and the time that you finish eating them doesn't really quite matter so much. I do recommend for you and my clients, everybody, we give ourselves about an hour or 2 before bed to finish eating each day, and that's simply because we don't want to have a bunch of food digesting in us while we're trying to sleep. You're going to be a gassy mess and your spouse isn't going to be too happy, so don't do it. But at the end of the day, it really only matters the amount of total food that you ate, not the time that you ate it. So don't stress yourself that if you happen to eat something at 8 p.m. or even 9 p.m., you're not screwed. You're only screwed if you are overeating in total calories. You're not screwed if you're eating a little bit later. This next myth is one that's been around for at least a decade, maybe even 2 decades, and it's one that makes carbs the enemy. You gotta eliminate your carbs or you're never gonna lose weight. And while people do see some early success eliminating carbohydrates, they're unfortunately eliminating an energy source, and they're losing mostly water when they do this. And if you completely cut out carbohydrates, I hope you are somebody that can keep that up for the rest of their life, because that rebound is gonna hit you, and it's gonna hit you hard. I've dealt with countless clients, especially some of my female clients, that cut out carbs to a near zero number, and they do great for a few days, but then they crash hard, and now they're eating everything. They're eating fries, they're eating bread. They can't stop themselves because they've now created a body that craves carbs, and they're eating too much, and then bam, the scale goes right back up. So carbs are not the enemy. You need them for an energy source to work out. You need them as an energy source to recover. And let's be real, carbs taste delicious. Just the problem is when you overeat in total calories, and if you are not keeping track of your portions of carbs, you're potentially going to have too many total calories. So let's not eliminate our carbs. Let's watch our portions and make wise choices and have good healthy carbs, and only a few of the junk food ones that taste oh so good but don't do our body too great. This next myth is one that you're probably going to give me some pushback on, but I'll say it as is. You simply cannot spot reduce body fat. I know you probably want to get rid of that arm jiggle. The way that you feel your under armpit fat doesn't make you feel good. You want to get rid of the fat around your lower back, or you're squeezing those fat rolls around your belly. I know you want to get rid of them, but there isn't a specific exercise that will target those areas. You're going to lose fat all over your body, and your genetics, not your workouts, will determine where you lose fat first. Some people lose it in their face first. Some people lose it in their midsection. Some people lose it in their lower body. The fat will go where the fat goes. We cannot control that. We can give ourselves the best results by watching what we eat, so we create that calorie deficit. We can give ourselves even better results by combining a calorie deficit with strength training, so we're building up muscle and increasing our metabolism. And we can also give ourselves the best chance by making sure that we stay patient and consistent to both of those things. Eating well and moving more, and especially getting in strength training, that's going to give you the best results, and that will get the body fat off. You cannot target a specific area, because that's not how it works. I'm not trying to be a bad guy. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. We got another myth coming straight from the Bro Science book that says you gotta eat every 2 to 3 hours. And unless you're a bodybuilder, eating every 2 to 3 hours, which is like 5 or 6 meals a day, is not realistic. And I'm sure you've probably heard, well, you gotta eat frequently, it keeps your metabolism moving quickly. No, that's not how it works. Eat on a schedule that you can keep up with, and a schedule that allows you to eat plenty of protein, gets you plenty of healthy fats, gets you some carbohydrates, and keeps your total calories at a point where you are in a calorie deficit. So you can do that in 2 meals, 3 meals, 4 meals, whatever works for you, and whatever you can be consistent at is the best plan. That is it. Eating every 2 to 3 hours is a lot of eating. You're gonna feel like you're a cow grazing in a field, constantly chomping down and heating up meals, and nobody's got time for that. Create a schedule that works for you and your lifestyle. Create a schedule that has you eating the right amount of total calories and gets your proteins, your carbs, and your fats, and you're good to go. Keep it simple. This next myth is one that goes way back to the 1950s, and it's one that says eating fat makes you fat. And if this sounds familiar to the carbohydrate myth, it pretty much is. Fat by itself is not the issue. Eating too much total calories is the issue. And in fact, I've helped a ton of my female clients lose body fat and have better energy and feel a lot more in control of their cravings by introducing healthy fats to their diet and teaching them about the portions of fats they should have. Eating foods like avocado, olive oil, salmon, those kinds of foods contain healthy fats that help with your hormones, that helps with your brain function. And if you're like me and you're around 40 years old, your hormones are starting to do some funny things. You ladies are potentially dealing with perimenopause at around 40 years old. And if you are not eating the right amounts of healthy fats, you're gonna have even worse symptoms. So eat your healthy fats. They are not the problem. The problem is when you combine your healthy fats, or just fats in general, with processed sugar. think pastries, think cookies, think fried foods. That is when your brain gets tricked into wanting more and more. And now it's not the fats that become the problem. The problem is you're eating a ton of calories and not getting full. So remember, you need your fats for your hormones. You need your fats to think properly. You need your fats for cravings control. You just need to watch your portions and be especially aware of fats combined with processed sugar makes it incredibly difficult to control how much you eat. And at the end of the day, the total calories matter more than just the fact you are eating fats. This next myth is one I'm constantly fighting my clients about, and it simply says that the scale tells the whole story. Here's the truth that they don't want to hear: the scale's a damn liar. I know it's convenient and easy to hop on the scale and use that to determine if you're on track or off track, but let me tell you, I've had clients lose inches, I've had them drop dress sizes, I've had them feel stronger, I've had them talk about how much more energy they have, and the scale didn't tell them any of that. Your weight's gonna go up and down because of water weight. It's gonna go up and down because of hormones. It's gonna go up and down because of salt and digestion and gaining muscle. Those are reasons the scale changes, and those are reasons why you can't just trust the scale to tell you everything you need to know. You want to take progress photos. You want to do measurements around your arms, your chest, your waist, your hips, your thighs. You want to have multiple ways of checking your progress so you don't fall into the trap of relying on the scale and beating yourself up because it didn't change. Because as I've pointed out, the scale can stay the same, but you lose inches, you get stronger, you have more energy, you feel better about yourself, regardless of the scale changing or not changing. Let's use the scale as one of the many tools to check on our progress. Our next myth is one that says you have to eat clean 100% of the time, otherwise it's game over. This is the all or none mindset that I wish people would stop doing. It is insanity to be on this cycle where you're doing good 4 or 5 days out of the week and then you're off the rails the next 2 or 3 days out of the week. I see client after client get burned out doing this, where they're doing the best Monday through Thursday, but then they're the worst Friday through Sunday, and they're always wondering why they work so hard and don't make any progress. Well, it's because you're all or none, and that's never gonna work. What works for me, what works for people who've lost fat and kept it off for years, is the 80-20 rule, where around 80% of the time they're on top of their diet, their activity, their everything. And then the other 20% of the time they loosen up and have some junk food, they have some soda, they relax. It's not about being all in or all out. Perfection doesn't work. It's about being consistent. And when you stay consistent, you make progress. And when you make progress, you're going to keep doing what's working. So stick with the 80-20 rule, not with the all or none rule. Let's get into our final myth that needs to just die. And this myth says that once you hit 30 or even 40, your metabolism, it's done for. The reality is, and this has been confirmed through research, our metabolism actually stays pretty steady from about 20 to 60 years old. And what really happens is we start losing more muscle each year in our 30s and beyond. But that isn't a death sentence. It's not permanent. You simply just need to start strength training as you get older, and you will maintain and slowly gain muscle. I have helped countless men and women in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s start to build muscle with strength training. They didn't turn into bodybuilders, and they didn't have to strength train every day. It just took 3 or 4 days out of the week for at least 30 to 60 minutes. And if you don't know how to get started with strength training, comment guide, and I will send you my beginner's 30-day program, which will show you exactly what you need to do to get started rebuilding muscle, and it won't take you more than 30 to 60 minutes, 3 days out of the week to get started. Building muscle as we get older is the key to keeping our metabolism on point. When you build muscle, your body will take the food you eat and use that energy rather than storing it. That is it. It doesn't matter if you are 30, 40, or 50. You can always build more muscle when you strength train. And like I said, if you don't know how to get started, comment guide down below and I'll send you my beginner's program. All right, we made it to the end of the 9 biggest and worst myths when it comes to losing actual fat. And if you fell for any of these myths before, I'm here to reassure assure you, you are not alone. These are very popular, and some of them sound so accurate that it's hard to believe that they are not true. So I want to hear from you down in the comments below. Let me know, which of these myths were you grappling with the most? Which one did you find yourself not wanting to give up believing now that you have heard the truth? I want to know your experience with these myths. I read all of my comments, so I will read and respond to it. Let me know your experience with these myths. And if you want some more common sense and no BS health education, consider going down to the video description and signing up for my weekly email newsletter. Every Sunday, you're going to get some simple, no BS and common sense based health education. It'll help you be healthy and stay healthy for years to come. And now that we've reached the end of the video, you're going to see a preview for another one on my channel. This video promises to teach you another common sense based health education lesson so you can get healthy and stay healthy. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Have a great rest of your day.